Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello guys, we are from 5th group Linguistics TBI 3A. Today we will discuss about syntax, infinite as of finite means. Before that, I will introduce myself and my partner. I'm Fili Alfiani and my friends Nurma Yunita and Amelia Damayanti.
Syntax is a branch of linguistics that studies how to organize and relate words in phrase, clauses, and sentence. Romland states that syntax is a branch of science that discusses the intricacies of discourse, sentences, clauses, and phrase. This definition illustrates that discourse, sentence, clauses, and phrase are form or language unit in which there are details that need to be discussed or studied. In other words, in the form or language unit, there are elements and relationships between elements that need to be studied by syntax. When viewed from the smallest elements, namely words are the elements that form phrase. Phrase are elements that form clauses. Clauses are elements that form sentences. And sentences are elements that form discourse. So, discourse is the language unit with the highest hierarchy. The word is the smallest unit in syntactic studies. Therefore, words are often called the smallest independent and meaningful units of language. The meaning of syntax. Syntax in Dutch is syntaxis, in English syntax, and in Arabic, Nahu is the science of linguistics that talks about the relationship between language elements to form a sentence. In Greek, the syntax is called syntax syntation, which means the sound with antation to put. Etymologically, this term means putting together words into groups of words or sentence and group of words into sentence. Syntax rules combine words into phrase and phrase into sentence. And the next material is syntax units. The first is word. Word is the smallest unit in the syntax. And the second is phrase. Phrase are grammatical units which are compound words. Among other things, the correct word order for a language. Syntax rules also determine the grammar of sentence, such as subject and direct object. In other words, they provide information. In order to become sentence, word must conform to specific patterns dictated by the specific syntactic rules of the language. The ability to produce, understand, and evaluate penny grammar depends on whether it conforms to our unconscious or unconscious rules of grammar.
Definition of clause. A clause is a syntactic unit in the form of a series of words with a predicative construction. This means that in the construction there are components in the form of words or phrases which function as predicates and other function as subject, object, and description. A clause has a potential to become a single sentence because it already has a mandatory syntactic function, namely subject and predicate. And then phrases and words also have the potential to become sentence if they are given the final intonation, but only as a minor sentence, not a major sentence, whereas clauses have the potential to become major sentence. Now I will give you some types of clause. Based on the category of segmental elements that become the predicate, it can be distinguished verbal clause or clauses whose predicates are categorized as verbs. In accordance with the types of verbs, there are first is transitive clauses. There is clauses whose predicate are transitive verbs. And then number 2, an intransitive clause, a clause whose predicate is an intransitive verb. Number 3, reflexive clause. It means is a clause whose predicate is a reflexive verb. Number 4, reciprocal clauses. Clauses whose predicate is a reciprocal verb. And then number 5, nominal clauses. Clauses whose predicate are nouns or nominal phrases. Number 6, adjective clauses. Clauses whose predicate is in the adjective category, either in the form of words or phrases. And then adverbial clauses. Clauses whose predicate are phrases that categorize as preposition. And a numeral clause is a clause whose predicate is in the form of a numeral word or phrase. It should also be noted that the term centered clause and non-centered clause also acts as a subject. Definition of the sentence. By relating the role of sentence as a means of interaction and the completeness of the message or content to be conveyed, sentences are defined as an orderly arrangement of words that contain a complete mind. Meanwhile, in a relation to smaller synthetic units or words, phrases, and clauses, the sentence is a synthetic unit composed of basic constituents, which are usually clauses equipped with conjunction if needed, and accompanied by a final intonation. So it can be concluded that what is important or what becomes the basis of the sentence is the basic constituents and the final intonation, while conjunction only exists when needed. There are three final intonations that characterize the sentence, namely declarative intonation, interrogative intonation, and exclamation point. And then any some type of the sentence. Number 1 is single sentence and compound sentence, and then number 2, major and minor sentence. Number 3, verbal sentence and non-verbal sentence. Number 4, free sentence and bound sentence. I think that's enough for the sentence, and then I will next to the definition of clause. Definition of discourse. Discourse is a complete language unit, so that in the grammatical hierarchy it is the highest and largest grammatical unit. As a complete language unit, discourse means that there is a complete concept, idea, thought, or idea that can be understood by the speaker in written discourse or the listener in spoken discourse without any doubt. As the highest or largest grammatical unit, discourse is formed from sentences that meet the grammatical requirements and other requirements of discourse. Grammatical requirements can be fulfilled if the discourse has real cohesiveness, namely the harmonious relationship between the elements in the discourse, so that the contents of the discourse is neat and correct. Discourse tool. Grammatical tools that can be used to make a discourse cohesive include: first, conjunction, which are tools for connecting parts of sentence or link paragraph with paragraph. Second, using pronouns like they, this, their, and etc. as anaphorical references so that the same part of the sentence does not need to be repeated but uses pronouns. Third, using an ellipsis, which is removing parts of the same sentence that contain other sentence. And then any type of discourse in terms of communication objectives, like number one is discourse argument, number two discourse exposition, number three discourse of persuasion, number four discourse description, and then the last is narrative discourse.
Okay, for the next is syntactic structure. Syntactic categories include both phrasal categories, such as NP, VP, AP, or adjective phrase, PP, prepositional phrase, and adverbial phrase, as well as lexical categories such as noun, verb, preposition, adjective, and adverb. Each lexical category has a corresponding phrasal category. In the syntax, sentences can resemble a tree. A tree diagram with syntactic category information is called a phrase structure tree or a constituent structure tree. Phrase structure trees or PS trees represent three aspects of a speaker's syntactic knowledge. First, the linear order of the words in the sentences. The second, the identification of the syntactic categories of words and groups of words. And the third is the hierarchical structure of the syntactic categories. E.g., an S is composed of an EP followed by a VP. A VP is composed of a V that may be followed by an NP, and so on. The information shown in a PS tree can also be represented by another formal device, phrase structure or PS rules. PS rules capture the knowledge that speakers have about the possible structure of a language. Just as a speaker cannot have an infinite list of sentences in his or her head, so he or she cannot have an infinite set of PS trees in his or her head. Rather, a speaker's knowledge of the permissible and impermissible structure must exist as a finite set of rules that characterize a tree of any sentences in the language. The phrase structure rules can be used as a guide for building trees that follow the structural constraints of the language. In so doing, certain conventions are followed. The S occurs at the top or root of the tree. So first, find the rule with S on the left side of the arrow. Continue by matching any syntactic category at the bottom of the partially constructed tree to a category on the left side of a rule. Then, expand the trees with the categories on the right side. Because the number of possible sentences in a language is infinite, there are also an infinite number of trees. However, all trees are built out of an infinite set of phrase structure rules. For the example, there is a sentence: when I see you smile, I can face the world. And then there are two clauses. The first, when I see you smile, and I can face the world. Before the clause is formed, there is a phrase. When I see you smile, I can face the world. Then there is the smallest unit of syntax is word. When I see you smile, I can face the world. From the text above, it can be seen that a sentence is relatively isolated in the meaning based on the structure of the sentence formation itself, without being influenced by other structures that are not in the utterance. Furthermore, it is also seen that the example above has a clear intonation pattern which is marked by a comma, punctuation at the end of the clause, and the ends with a period punctuation at the end of the sentences. Then, the sentence is composed of clauses at the building blocks of the sentence. If it is described from the smallest element, it will be seen how an utterance or sentences is structurally formed in grammatical units that have meaning or are also called hierarchy of linguistic units. Then, in syntactically, the sentence structure is always formed by noun phrase, or words that function as nouns, and verb phrase, or words that function as verbs in sentences. If the sentences in example 1 above is described based on its constituent elements, the translation will be as follows. The first sequence in the tree diagram is the subject, then divided into two clauses. The first clause is divided into conjunction, noun or noun phrase, and verb phrase. The second clause is divided into noun or noun phrase and verb phrase. Then, from the verb phrase in the first clause is divided into verb, noun, and verb. From the verb phrase, the second clause is divided into determinant and noun.
Conclusion. Syntax is a branch of linguistics that studies how to organize and the relationship of words in phrases, clauses, and sentences. Etymologically, the term it means putting together words into groups of words, or phrase or sentence, and groups of phrases into sentence. Syntax, together with morphology, is part of grammar. In the field of morphology, morphemes, words, and formation are discussed words. Then the syntax talks about phrases, clauses, and sentences as its systemic units. The word is the smallest unit. Then a phrase, which is a composition of several words. A clause, which is an arrangement from phrase. From that clause, then produce a sentence, and from sentence, a discourse is formed, namely the most complete unit. Thank you.
Okay, that is an explanation from our group about the syntax. Thank you for attention, guys. If you have any questions or you don't understand them, please ask. That is all from us. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.